everybody. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance. Hang on, I want to get my mic. I never like the sound of them. This new mic is expensive and it doesn't seem to be very good, but it's got software with it, so I'm going to see if I can get the sound better. How about I don't know. I don't know if you can even hear the difference. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let me read the disclaimer. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Well, I do have a monitor. I can try it. We'll see. I'll see if I can figure this out. These earpieces are complicated. So anyways, what are you up to? What's going on? We have ADP in a couple of minutes, couple of moments. That's the wrong one. I think it's this one. They go on backwards and upside down like Silly Sally. There we go. I think this will fit. No, maybe that is the wrong one. All right, so anyways, let me know what you want to do today. Yeah, maybe this is it. And then that goes around my ear and around. Yeah, maybe that's it. And then I'll plug this into the mic. And, all right, yeah, all right. Yeah, it's not great. Anywho, good to see you. ADP comes out. Maybe what many years ago people would say that that ADP was a precursor to NFP and would help you predict. There we go. Sorry, help you predict what non-farm payrolls would be like. That isn't actually true. So they are completely different sources of information regarding the employment situation of the United States of America. So like non-farm payrolls is two different reports, the establishment survey and the household survey. Okay, so what is ADP? It's small and medium-sized businesses that can't afford to have an HR department. So they outsource that. Sweet. And so they should know precisely how many checks they cut, right? And how many jobs have been added in the small and medium-sized business sector. So ADP is ADP. That's it. ADP is ADP. It doesn't necessarily, now there is some correlation, but it doesn't predict. So anyways, so that's going to come out in a few minutes, and in fact, 90 seconds. So with that, why don't we get on with it? We'll get the news, and then we will go from there. If you look at the description below today's video, there are many resources available to you. There's a link to tradersway.com, an ethical, trustworthy foreign exchange broker. There's a link to my book, Strategic and Tactical Forex Trading. There's a link to Investor Bootcamp, where you can learn technical and fundamental analysis through video training and live trading groups. There's Quant-in-a-Box.com, Quant-in-a-Box.co, that automates your macroeconomic data research, quantitatively and comparatively analyzes and compares and contrasts multiple assets to each other. There's TradePlans.ai, which now you could submit your technical trade plan, and within 3 seconds, less than 3 seconds, get feedback on your trading idea. And it's all done by AI, and it's absolutely phenomenally amazing. And it's free. So try that. And there's more than that. There's some free training courses, some free videos, all in the description below. So make sure you leverage that. And let's get off a biddy and let's go to, I don't know, let's just do euro dollar, and ADP should be out. If anyone's got the number, let us know. Dollar is nice and strong. That is something that I've been looking for and wanting and all that kind of stuff. And it's starting, right? Like here's a nice little one. Doop, 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 doop. So it's a red hot number. Okay, that's a red hot number, huh? Yep. Red hot. Holy smoke. So 324, and people are expecting 200. Yeah, holy smokes. Okay, so what does that tell us? The Fed can keep going. The Fed can raise more. Yep. So we'll see. One of the most important things going on right now is what the stock market is doing and how the stock market reacts. We can go into the S&P 500, for example. Okay. And right now we're bouncing between the high line and the midline. Okay, so bears sell up here around 45.65. Bulls buy down here at the bottom of that range, 45.28. Okay, that kind of stuff. So you either buy on the 21 EMA or you sell on the 5 EMA, depending on your bias. Interesting, very interesting. Japanese stock market way down. Australian stock market way down. UK stock market way down. Okay. German stock market down. So is it time for the US? Yeah, maybe. Okie dokie. When we look at I was going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit later, maybe. Nah, let's skip all of it. All of it. Let's get all of it, as they say in Australia. Peso has something interesting going on right now. Okay, so we're at that daily 21. But if I were to create something new, let's just do insert, because I don't want to change that, right? So let's do, come on, get off that. Okay, new chart. It's going to take me forever to find, oh, there it is, cool. Peso, and then let's put it on a confluence. Okay. What I wanted to show here is if you are a bear on peso, you got the logical pullback and you might be game on to the next move down. Okay. So what we've been talking about is selling around 17, target around 16. Okay, and we just happen to be in that price zone. So, yeah, game on, Bubba. If you're a bear, game on, Bubba. Okay, there, zip back in, and you can see what's going on there. Daily 21. We got very close to 17. We got to 1698.5. Yeah. Okay. Not many people trading the Swiss franc, and it's interesting. Swiss franc is beautifully strong. Okay. Is that an in-house application on the screen? I'm not sure what you're talking about. So expand your question, and I'll be happy to clarify. Yeah. All right. Okay, dollar index, as you can see, dropped down to the 121.4, and I explained how I discovered that ratio. Okay, and through observation, it's important. Isn't that amazing how that's not a fib number? But I'm self-taught, and I've discovered that number. And I found that it worked really well. And I was giving you an example of it here, and sure enough, it turned the market around. It's not something that is taught in regards to Fibonacci. Okay. Manuel says the Swiss franc is in a long-term downtrend. That might be. One thing we do know is the Swiss National Bank projections going out 18 months. Okay? And so you're saying it's in a long-term downtrend. Yes, but it may not likely be for the next 18 months. So I don't know how long-term your long-term is. But if you do comparative analysis of future monetary policy of central banks, the least likely to cut interest rates is Swiss National Bank. So relatively speaking, it'll probably be stronger than the other currencies. Yeah, capiche? So anyways, so if you want to look at that, you'd open up your Swissies. Okay. And so like you could do something like this is an acceptable plan, and this is a more conservative plan. Okay. It'd be interesting. I'd like to see like the pink plan, but I can't bet on it. Okay. But is there an opportunity now? If I zoom in, could I sell around 112.33 between the daily 21 and 55? Yeah, I could. So then I drop into a smaller time frame, and I might say, okay, there's the high that we thought, pull back, no higher high, higher low, and what we do is in the next few hours engage in the market like this, selling around, I guess this number now, I don't know, 112.12, let's say. I don't know. Just making it up here. 112.12. Oops. Okay. That's easy to remember. 112.12. Go back to the daily. Okay. And that means we're short here. Let me open this up and make it 112.12. Well, that is 112.12. Okay. Good. Lucky me. Lucky me, lucky you. All right, anyways, All right, so there's that price. So let's say we get short approximately there. And the target would be la 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 ma 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 108 and a half. 350 pips, is that right? Sweet. I gotta move. Give me the juice. Okay. And of course, that might change next month, or we would extend that next month. Okay. Yeah, JP talks about the Fitch. The Fitch downgrade. Yeah, I spoke about that at Quant-in-a-Box Live this morning. Want to make sure that everybody is watching the Quant-in-a-Box recordings. I make them free. youtube.com/@Quant-in-a-Box. Are you guys watching these in the morning? They're live at 6:30, available by 7:30, all on Quant-in-a-Box. So live at 6:30, available at 7:30 for the recording. And then for everybody else, it's made free to the public at 10 a.m. as a public service. Moses does watch every day. Thank you. Oh, thank you, JGB. So anyways, there's, if you wanted to take the pound down, that's plausible. You might like different technical analysis. Look at this 4-hour. Okay, so let's break this one down into digestible pieces. So you start with the idea you want to sell the Aussie and you want to buy the Swiss franc. There's support, 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 support. So there's all the price action support. Resistance. It used to be support. So now we're trying to figure out future resistance. And one of the things you could try to string together, hang on, let me reset this chart a little bit. Go back to the 4-hour. Okay, great. And one of the things you might be doing here is like an up and a down. That's just price action. What do you think? Smell like a plan? Is it possible to speculate without SL? Are you talking about stop losses? No, not making a loss. Again, I'm not quite sure what you're asking me, but if you're not able to take a loss properly, I would not invest in you. So if you told me you had a 98% winning ratio, I would not be interested. No. What's the name of the standard deviation tool? it's standard deviation. Right? Are you talking about linear regression? Maybe that's what you're talking about. Or are you talking about mine? Well, Manuel, he says you must take losses to win. Yeah, but what I'm saying is losing is normal. Losing should, when you're a half decent trader, losing just shows me your risk management. So if you tell me you rarely take a loss, what you're telling me is you take pride in not losing. Which means if I give you money and you're in a situation that looks, mediocre, you're going to err on the side of protecting your win ratio, not protecting my money. You have some sort of ego attached to the number of wins you have. You know what? It's totally irrelevant. And that's the dumbest thing of that type of attitude. It just shows you don't understand. It shows the arrogance. No, it shows arrogance and ignorance at the same time. Okay, so like if you have a normal win-loss, let's say risk-reward ratio of 3-to-1, you can be wrong 66% of the time and still not lose money. That's a little bit smarter. So after a while, then all you have to do is if you get your win ratio to 50-50, what it'll show is that you try, you take, calculated risks, and much of the time it doesn't work out because, it's a tricky business. People get it. But your winners are significantly larger than your losers. So your losers are small. And in fact, half your losers are probably basically break-even trades. So, if you normally risk 50 pips on a stop, but half of your stops are -3, then your average loser is 25, but then your average winner is going to be close to 300, and you just look amazing. You're profitable, you're skilled, you're patient, you're disciplined, you're consistent, and your losers are tiny, and your winners are compensate for the risk you took. It's just, why would you have pride on something so unimportant, right? You see what I mean? Okay. Yeah, that would be linear regression, Moses. Okay. Or unless you're talking about the blue ones and green, the red one and green one that I added. Yeah, that's mine. And I give that away for free on Investor Bootcamp. If you're talking about that one, let me open this up. That's price action pivot points. And I invented them. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, Richard, it's an old trick that venture capitalists like to do all the time. They'll say, we have an internal rate of return of 10x. But what they're saying is, we sold one of our companies and made a profit. Cool. And every dollar we got in, we got $10 out. However, we've made 9 other trades, okay, investments, that are now worth $0, but we haven't closed the companies. So we don't count them. We don't count them yet because it's not mark to market. right? So I would then say, okay, that's good. You got one good deal in your internal rate of return because that's per dollar. But what was your absolute return to the fund? So you raised $1 billion. So does that mean you've returned $10 billion to your limited partners? You returned 10 billion? Oh no. And then you find out it's because these were losses. So anyways. Anywho, let's move on.com. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's do our job. Let's mark the line. Great. If you were going to be a bear here, but I don't think I would be a bear here. I think euro is going to remain strong. Okay. Okay. And by the way, if you kind of wonder, like, well, why? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I forget. So I do a lot of analysis every day on these charts. I don't just sit here for 45 minutes to an hour and a half a day doing, I'm constantly in front of these charts. One of the things that I do is I track macroeconomics, which help me understand monetary policy of each central bank, but also the central banks actually tell us what they intend to do in the future. And so in Quant-in-a-Box, in the Pro subscription, I actually plot all this out graphically. And you can switch through all the different central banks and you can see the future. You can see 18 months into the future based on what they have told us. Now, they may change what they tell us as time goes by, but I still just know. So I can't turn that off. I just look at this and I'm like, well, based on what the ECB has told me is going to happen over the next 18 months, no, I probably wouldn't short this. But technically, it makes sense. Fundamentally, I'd probably sell something else first. Okay? Okay? Well, so Sky Killer says RBA looks like it will not rise. No, but see, like, again, that sounds like an opinion. I can factually tell you exactly what they have told us. And, in the third quarter of 2024, they're going to cut by 25 basis points. See, like, did that sound like an opinion? No, it's not my opinion. I know it to be factual truth of what the RBA has already told us. And I just have it graphically plotted. And then I do comparative analysis. So I know over the next 18 months, Euro Swissy is probably not a pair I want to trade. Oh, just like that. It's factual. I could trade the Euro. I could trade the Swissy. But I don't think I want to trade them together because of, the stated monetary policy for all of next year. I'm not talking even 2023. I'm talking about all of 2024. I'd trade each of those currencies individually, but I'd probably get poor results if I trade them together. Okay? Cool. It's just that. That's that. Yeah. So this is kind of rangy. USD Swiss franc, see, probably strong versus strong right now. Right? Yeah. If this trend is going to continue, I would do this if I were me. But one piece of information I can tell you that's important is this green zone is the projected bottom for the month of August. No, sorry, the year. Oh, sorry, the year. So we just hit our yearly low. The very best you could expect is down here, just above 84, 84.39. So there might be one more move down, and then we come back the other way. But this also could be good enough. So if we did something like this, oh God, that as Kanye West would say, oh God. Yeah, that would be interesting. That's not what it says here. One more down is what it says. But if one more down doesn't appear, then it's technically important. Yeah. There's a question here about forward testing. Expand on that, please. Okay, expand on that, please. I'm happy to consider that, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay. Well, USD Swiss franc isn't bullish or dovish when you put them together because they're both funding currencies. Okay. Okay. So what kind of information do I consider when looking at hawkish or dovish? Okay. So what things could you look at for hawkish versus dovish market? Anybody? Let's do a checklist. Used to have a checklist here. I don't have it anymore. I don't even remember what it's called, so that's probably why I can't find it. Anyways. Okay. Nobody knows? What do you look at to consider whether the market is hawkish or dovish? Risk on or risk off? Well, that's a trend indicator. We're talking about sentiment. Yeah, thank you, Sky Killer, but it would still be an indicator on that, so I just don't have it installed. Time frame, rates, yeah. Large institution positioning, yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, COT data is nice, so I don't know. Why don't I just bring up Quant-in-a-Box? Oops. Let me expand this out. The stock markets, okay, sure. But they're just making the same determinations, right? But yeah, sure. Options or retail positioning. All right, so one of them, so some people said institutional positioning, which you would get from here. It's doing the calculations, hang on. Okay. Yep. And so like biases are created here. So like, let it load, still doing stuff. So what was an asset that we were talking about? Aussie dollar? We were talking about a Swiss franc. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do pound Swiss franc? Great British pound, Swiss franc. Okay, they're actually both doing okay right now. Okay. There's an increase in demand for pound, and there's an increase in demand for Swiss franc. Currently, there's a bullish bias still to that pound Swiss franc based on the positioning. So you can do stuff like that. There's a bullish bias, but that's not market sentiment. So when I talk about market sentiment, like one of the things you obviously look at, and all members of Quant-in-a-Box have this now, is your daily bias. This is your risk on, risk off bias. This is your hawkish or dovish bias for today, right now, right this second. And it's looking at 6 different things. Now, to be a strong trader, you need multiple time frames. And so like when you use tradeplans.ai, Aiden, the artificial intelligence, is going to show you its thoughts on 3 different time frames: short, medium, and long term. Because that's necessary to be a trader. Anyway, so how do we make this determination at Quant-in-a-Box? Well, over the last 7 days, there's been a 12.71% increase in the VIX. That's negative. You have to understand what the VIX is doing. Do you even know what the VIX is? Well, most people just think VIX is the fear gauge, the fear index. Okay, well, it's up 12.71% this week. That fear is risk off. Futures, when you look at yen futures, risk off. When you look at gold, risk off. When you look at the Dixie is up 1.5% this week. Up is bad, risk off. S&P 500 hasn't done anything this week, neutral. Yield on the 10-year T-note, big move on the yields, way up, risk off. Score of -5, okay? Buy the Swissy, buy the yen, buy the dollar, sell the Aussie, sell the euro, sell the CAD, sell the Kiwi, sell gold, sell the S&P 500. So again, to make that determination, risk on or risk off, you can look at all these things: the VIX, the yen, gold, dollar, S&P 500, and the bond market, the treasury market yields. Okay. Someone we were talking earlier about the Swiss National Bank, ECB, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we plot it here. So you can do this research automatically, super easy, super fast, not a problem. Okay, it's loading. And I'll show you. Look, that's the Swiss National Bank. Okay, there's the ECB. Boom. See, I'm done. Just like that. That's why I wouldn't trade Euro Swiss franc. I already know that. I know where to find it. I know where to show it. I know what it means. Aiden link. Okay. It's tradeplans.com. Hang on, http://www. All right, you ready for it? Tradeplans.ai. The name describes what it does. There's some upgrades coming. Oh my God. There's some trade plans coming, but everything should be stable right now. Hey, welcome to TradePlans.ai, where you can get feedback on your trading idea in less than 3 seconds. You fill out the form, you hit submit, and our trade plans will already be in your email account.
It's really
fast. In fact, when you
fast.
open it up, you will see that there's a trade plan for daily, for weekly, and monthly. And again, we can do this in less than 3 seconds. Now, how is that even possible? Well, of course, I'm utilizing artificial intelligence. So my name is Wayne McDonald. I've been trading for over 20 years, and I've been teaching artificial intelligence on how to trade. So when you submit a trade plan, we have thousands of candlestick data points in which we can analyze using dozens of algorithms and help you put together trade plans. You can take what you thought with what the artificial intelligence is thinking, and you can compare and contrast. But here's the cool thing. We also track the trade over time so that the machine is learning from your wins and your successes, or in your failures, or its wins and its failures. And the more trade plans you upload and the more trade plans others upload, the better the feedback gets. So give it a try. Fill out the form, post a trade plan, and check your email. There's already 3 different types of trade plans for you to compare and contrast with your own. Try it out. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm not even joking. It is awesome.
Tradeplans.ai. And it's scary, actually, even though I own the whole thing and I developed the whole thing, or designed it and had other people do the work, but nonetheless, it's my intellectual property. It's a little bit scary because I don't know what it tells you. It's artificial intelligence. It's kind of like hiring an employee and you're like, okay, I've trained the employee well. I hope they do a good job. I hope they do the work right. I hope they treat my clients with dignity and respect. But there's no template. You have to really understand this. There's no template. It doesn't just kind of like cut and paste and send you something. It thinks. And it's scary. I taught it how to trade. And when you post a trade plan, it sends a private email to you and only to you. It's not posted on the website. Nothing's cut and paste. And it's you and Aiden kind of having a conversation. Well, right now it's just Aiden giving you feedback. But in the very near future, what I'm designing is he will have a conversation with you. Like, or at least getting closer and closer to it. Yeah, like, oh my God. So one of the things I thought is, and let me know if you're interested in this, because I need to find a way to monetize this. I'm just burning huge piles of cash. So it's really cool, and I think it'll help everybody. So I think you would agree with me. It is pretty amazing that it needed to be done. Now we have it. But I'm the one out thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours of time. All right, cool. I thought maybe I could have a premium level. Like, let's say you pay $1 a day. It's not much. You're just contributing. It's not much. But wouldn't it be cool if you had the premium service, and what it would allow you to do is ask Aiden to manage your trade for you? Imagine you're outside farting around doing whatever you do with your life, and you get a text message, and it's Aiden, and he's like, "Hey man, you should probably move your stop 27 pips to this price." Because Aiden's been watching your trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every new candle. He thinks about your trade. You're not at your chart, but Aiden is watching every candle while you sleep and while you eat and while you walk and while you talk, while you're tap dancing. You're at ballerina class, Aiden's watching your trade. And then all of a sudden, pa-ching, you get a text. Hey, you need to go to your charts. Okay? Okay. Cash insomnia? Email me, wayne@fxbootcamp.com. Frank says, Aiden creating future millionaires. No. First of all, he doesn't make you any trade recommendations. You post a trade plan and he gives you feedback on your trade plan. It might be okay. He might say your trade sucks. But he's not going to sit there and say, Frank, you need to buy, Aussie Swiss franc now and have it go up there. No, that's an alert service. I'm not interested. Never been interested in something like that. But if you asked me, and of course, this is what people do. People ask me, Wayne, what do you think of this? Well, why ask me? I mean, yeah, I'll tell you what I think, but I'm only a human. Right? So it takes me a while to answer and all that kind of stuff. And I charge $500 an hour for my time. Aiden, you can ask, and he's done in less than 3 seconds. The only reason it's 3 seconds is it's Gmail, and your email server is that slow. It takes that amount of time to go across the internet. Aiden's actually created 3 charts from scratch and wrote you an email, and it takes more like a half a second. It's stunning technology. Designed, every stick of code is custom designed. Like, I didn't buy anything, I didn't license anything, and all this kind of stuff. No, we created the whole thing. So it's really amazing, and that's why my next vision is email's too slow, and you don't check your email all day, every day. So when we're talking about your trades and trading ideas, I'd like to just text you. And that would be really the most amazing thing ever, because you'll go here, okay, or you'll log in and you'll post it from the inside. But let's just say you put in your trade plan, so you want to do a Bitcoin, okay? You want to do a Bitcoin trade, and you want to buy it. You put all this in, and then you put your chart, and then you hit submit, and pching. Can you imagine? Like, literally the moment you hit submit, boom, pching, you get a text message, and it's Aiden, and he's like, here's the feedback on your trading idea. And you're like, dude, it's been not even a second. It was almost simultaneous. Here it is. And you're like, Shiza. And you're just looking at it, right? And you can scroll through and open up the images and read the message that he sent you. Oh my God, that would be amazing, right? But that would be necessary for the next step too, where 2 days later you get a text message and he's like, hey, move your stop to this price. And you're like, what? He's been watching? Yes. Now imagine this. What if you didn't have the strength to stay in the trade? Something happened, and instead of waiting to be stopped out, you freaked out, or maybe you made some quick pennies, made some quick pips, and you got out early and you forgot about your trade. You said it was worth 300, but you bailed out at 100, and you forget about it. And 2 days later, you get a text message from Aiden. Hey, congratulations on that big win you got. Boom. 300 pips, rocking it. And you get this text that says, congratulations on that trade. And you're like, wait, that trade went up 300 pips? And you bailed at 100. Well, Aiden wouldn't know. He just knows what your trade plan was. And all of a sudden you get a fist bump from artificial intelligence on your phone like, dude, sweet trade, congratulations, 300. Boom. You're like, oh, thanks, Aiden. And now maybe you say, well, maybe I should stick with my trades a little bit more. Just imagine that was the trend, that much of the time you put in good trade plans, but you never see them through, but Aiden does. And now you start, because there's a history that TradePlans.ai does. It keeps a history of your trades, and all of a sudden you're like, winner, 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 winner. But you're not actually doing it in the real world. In the real world, you wimp out, wimp out, wimp out. Well, this might give you the strength, because Aiden's been watching it. Even your demo account can't do that. It doesn't say, hey, that really cool trade plan you had, but you bailed out with 25 pip profit. Yeah, you're right. It was worth 300. And you wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know. You see what I mean? Now you can try to be the trader you want to become and have Aiden track it to see if you would have made money or not. And it might be different from how you actually behave now. So it could be an amazing learning experience. Okay. All right. So anyways, I think I'll leave here. Sky Killer says, Coach, would you make a new fundamentals course like deep central banking monetary policy? I've already done one. It's like 20 hours long. Okay. But remember, the Fitch downgrade might be some volatility today. Ultimately, Fitch has made a laughing stock of their firm on Wall Street, and it was probably a huge mistake on their part. Roderick says, Aiden takes away our fear a little. Well, realistically, I don't think so. I wouldn't expect that. But if you replace the unknown with known, see, I think for many people here, I think you suspect you're a better trader than you are. Like, you might actually be a mediocre trader, but you think and feel and you just know somehow that you're better. But you just struggle to find the success that you think you got inside of you. But whether it's ignorance or greed or fear or something, but something's holding you back and you just don't know. I think, Roderick, if Aiden proved to you that you are an excellent trader, it might give you the strength to change your behavior to find your destiny. But it certainly won't do it for you. But it will prove that your trade plans are excellent. And it's your behavior in the market that's the problem. And that might give you the courage to adapt and find your true inner self, as they say in Harvard. Yeah. Coolio. Jim says premium service is a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, I might just be as simple enough as just ask for a donation by people. Because it's funny, it would cost me many thousands of dollars to build a premium service in which you would pay $1 a day. And you're like, But anyways, yeah, we'll figure it out. It's really cool. Right now, guys, I just want you to use it. It's my contribution to society. I hope you actually believe I care about you. Okay. Kyle says, how about just building a Quant-in-a-Box AI investor bootcamp day trading group and combine them all together? Actually, I do want to do that. It'd be like a mastermind group, and you would pay an additional $200 a month, and we would meet throughout the year. And so first of all, you get everything I do. You get it. You get everything. Quant-in-a-Box, Investor Bootcamp, all that. Day trading. You get all of that. But on top of that, it's like a private group for about 24 people. And we also manage some money together. Yeah, it'd be a bundle thing. It'd be, $400 a month. Okay. I'm sure you contact other like educators and YouTube gurus, and they charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for basic crap. So I don't want to go there, but I think it'd be interesting. Like I said, this great little thing, together as a group, we manage 50 grand and turn it into $1 million. You and I. We'll talk about it. We'll look at it. We'll manage it. I'll have my account audited and all that kind of stuff so you know it's legit. And I'll show you how to do it under the rules of engagement that I've been dictated as a small independent business owner in the United States of America. I'll show you how to play the game. And I'll do it in less than 10 years. And I'll do it with taking incredibly small levels of risk with incredibly consistent returns. And the whole time, what I'm really doing is lowering my tax bill. So I'm going to save, I don't know how much in taxes I'm going to save. I don't know even how to quantify that. Let's say along the way, I probably save $1 million in taxes and make $1 million. But again, if I don't want more than 2 dozen. But if there's only 8 people interested, I don't have the time to make that kind of, it wouldn't be enough. So anyways, if you are interested in that, like I say all the time, of course, nobody emails me, so I think nobody cares. So I won't do it. But if you're interested in something like that, you got to email me, wayne@fxbootcamp.com, and you're like, gee whiz, I want to work in a group like that. Like a true mastermind group where you help me make $1 million and you watch me do it. Meanwhile, it's just it's my tax strategy. It's just with money I would have paid in taxes anyways. Okay? Okay? That kind of thing. Cool. And Tim says, what do you mean you're set up? Are you going to be compensated? Hell no. It's my money. It's my retirement account, Frank. Heck no. No. But you will learn what? A, you'll see it done, and B, you'll learn how to do it. And many of you will probably just follow along and build the same portfolio. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah. Okay. So this is just a learning path? Well, I don't need to hire you. I don't need your help. I it's my money and I know how to do it. So I'm just doing it. So it's more like more likely I think you're going to just do the same thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I know what he's doing. So you'll do it because we're discussing, and I'm like, I'm going to buy more of this, and I'm going to exit some of that, and I'm going to thin this out and move this around because I think this, and we have our discussions and a steak dinner and a cigar and a couple of Manhattans, and you're managing a portfolio. Meanwhile, I know you go home and probably just do exactly the same thing. Why not? But the other thing I can do is if you have, $1 million and you want me to manage it for you, I'll just do that. That's easy. I'll just do it for you. Yeah. And I know a few of you are interested in that, so that's really cool. So I'm in the process of setting that fund up as well. And that would be different than similar. I mean, the Mastermind group is focused not on the hedge fund, it's focused on my retirement account. But anyways. Cool. Who does have, well, you should. If you're of a certain age, you should have a lot more than $1 million. In your retirement account? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you spent your whole life saving money and compounding it. You would need that. Yeah, that'd be late. You'd be late. Yeah, in America, I think you need a lot more than that. Yeah, $1 million doesn't buy much in the U.S. Anyways, we'll leave all that other stuff for other conversations. But you need more. That's, in my opinion, you need more. And so the younger you are, the younger you are when you start saving for retirement, the more you're going to have at the end, and a lot more. So some people, what happens is they turn 40 or 45, and then they realize they're not going to have $1 million. And what you need to do now is get in the game. So now you might be, mid-40s, and your babies are now kids, and now you're thinking about the future and college, and then you're like, and then I got to worry about retirement. And you look back and you're like, dude, it seems like 5 minutes ago I was a young man and 30. Now you're 45 with kids, and you're like, holy crap, 15 years went by fast. And then you realize in 15 or 20 years, you're too old to work, and you're like, 15 years is like nothing. Oh my God. I only have 20 years left. Oh my God. And you've been burning all your cash because you had to buy a better car, and then you had to buy a better house. Now you got kids, and you had to pay for all this and pay for that. And now you're like, oh my God, I'm behind the gun. This is typically what happens, by the way. Then game on, let's get going. You don't have time to waste. So if you look at the power of compounding, let's say every 8 to 10 years, you should be able to double your money. So if you're 45 and you retire, if you retire at 65, okay, you should be able to double your money 2, maybe 3 times. depending on do you take money at 70 or 65? And are you growing at 8% or 10 or 12? It depends on the rate of compounding, right? But you should be, it's possible if you're 45, you can double your money once, twice, and a third time. And you'd be shocked that last double is a game changer. And for everybody else, they work at Starbucks because they need the health insurance and they dig out the day-old bagels out of the garbage can. Because they didn't save for retirement. Okay. Now, Richard says he's 35 and has money in real estate and businesses. Epic. The real estate side mimics a lot what I design in my portfolio, except without all the headaches of managing real estate. There's a lot of headaches. Now, if you own your own business, there are strategies like that I'm doing that will be able to dramatically lower your tax bill, and then you take all that money and invest it and compound it like crazy. And actually, so if you own a business that actually makes money, a small business that actually makes money, it's probably the greatest thing you can do in America to retire rich. You have a small LLC, you don't have any employees, you make, I don't know, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. If you're at that level, yeah, you can retire with millions based on the money you deferred out of taxes. So instead of paying it all, a huge tax bill, I think you can put a certain amount that would normally go to tax, you can take out, and that in of itself will give you millions of dollars. Thank you, America. It's a wonderful country. Okay? Having a company on your own, could it give you a heart attack? Pfft. No, it's awesome. Anyways, I got to go, bro. Life is good. Life is great. Be careful. There'll probably be a little bit of short-term volatility today around the downgrade. So be ready for that. Okay? So again, if any of this stuff is of interest to you, email me, wayne@fxbootcamp.com. I'll see you at 4. Okay? Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Cheers. Oh, and here's an ad for YouTube. Here you go, YouTube.